What's going on, guys? Inspired here, and I got some awesome news for you today. Inspired patch 1.2 is out and you can download it right now. The link is in the description. In this video I will talk about major new changes that are included in this version of the mod. But before we begin, I want to give a shout out to the people who supported the development of 1.2 on Patreon. Thank you so much, guys, for your support, I really appreciate it. And for those of you watching who would like to show your support as well, you can do it at patreon.com/inspiredwrestling. Also, don't forget that another way to support me, at no cost to you whatsoever, is to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and consider sharing it with your friends and social media followers, if you think that they might like it. Now let's see what's new in Inspired patch 1.2. The first change is not the biggest one, but likely the most obvious one, and the one I'm sure you've already noticed. I'm talking about the HUD tweaks. For 1.2 I replaced the original SmackDown 2 HUD font with a new one that looks much less pixelated. I also adjusted letter spacing to make it even across all the characters in the font. This made text in wrestler names more condensed, so I was also able to reduce the length of nameplates by 10%. Again, not a huge change by any means, but I think that the HUD now looks a little bit better and a little bit cleaner. I really like how it turned out, but I'm also curious about your opinion, so be sure to drop a comment and let me know what you think about this change. Now let's get to the real MVP of this update, which is the upgrade to the finisher system. I already talked about it in one of my previous videos, so I encourage you to watch that for all the details. But basically the gist of it is that now all wrestlers in the game have two finishers instead of just one. The way it works is pretty much identical to later games in the series. If a wrestler's finishers are performed from different positions, they are both performed by pressing L1. If the finishers are performed from the same position, then the main finisher is L1 and the alternate finisher is L1 and either of the direction pad buttons. The second part of the finisher upgrade is that running and turnbuckle grapples can now be selected as finishers. Keep in mind that this is fully integrated into the Create a Superstar mode, so your created wrestlers can take advantage of these changes as well. Let's talk about the roster now. In 1.2 I replaced Earl Hebner and Vince McMahon with Blue Meanie and Mideon. These characters are fully playable both in Exhibition and Season modes. I also re-added Vince and Shane McMahon as non-playable authority figures in the Season mode. You cannot play as them, but they will appear in cutscenes and matches from time to time. Two more Season mode NPCs in 1.2 are Goldberg and Sid Vicious. They replace Unknown D and Unknown R. You will be able to fight them occasionally, and if you want to play as them, their body parts are available in the Create a Superstar mode. Speaking of the Create a Superstar mode, there are several changes there as well. First of all the moves and standard body parts are now unlocked from the beginning of the game, so you don't have to play the Season mode to unlock them. I also made the heads of Andre the Giant, Big Show, Bob Backlund, Jerry Lawler, Ken Shamrock and Sergeant Slaughter selectable, without replacing any of the existing wrestlers. There are also several new crowd signs, 3 for Goldberg, 3 for Sid Vicious and some generic ones with wrestling promotion logos and country flags. In the move section of the Create a Superstar mode, I enabled changing of some move types that couldn't be changed previously. The ground grapples that are performed by pressing circle up and double T moves performed by pressing circle left and circle right. You will also notice that a lot of moves has been renamed. This is something that I personally wanted to do for more accuracy in move names. There is a list with all the move name changes and you can find the link in the description. Also feel free to let me know if you think any other moves could use better, more accurate names as well. In the Season mode I adjusted the modifiers that I used to determine who wins when you skip matches. In Vanilla SmackDown 2 it is very common to see someone like Shane McMahon or Debra beat The Rock or The Undertaker when skipping matches. This is obviously unrealistic, so I changed it to a more believable system that is more or less consistent with character overalls. Now if a character has a higher overall than their opponent, they are more likely to win if you skip the match. Keep in mind though that there is still some degree of randomness, so characters with lower overalls still have a chance to win, even if it's a smaller one. Now let's talk about a few gameplay hacks. If you played Inspired Patch 1.1, you know that in this mod you can enable weapons in matches where they are normally not allowed. However, previously this could lead to glitches and crashes in some match types, such as Anywhere Fall or Royal Rumble. In 1.2 I made 2 improvements to the weapon system that solve these problems. First, you can now start Anywhere Fall matches in backstage areas with weapons without the game crashing. In this case, the starting weapons will be randomized based on the weapon selection for that specific backstage area. And the second change is that you now won't be able to leave the ring while holding a weapon if the ring out option is set to off. This is handy if you play a Royal Rumble match with weapons, because now you cannot accidentally eliminate yourself just by running to the ropes with a weapon in hand. For 1.2 I also improved the Battle Royale match. Now it's possible to defend titles in Battle Royale matches, and since it's an elimination style match, I made it so the AI will not be breaking up pin attempts in Battle Royale. 1.2 also includes some minor attire changes for a few wrestlers. Malenko now has his white wrist tapes. Saturn has pink trunks and white fist tapes. Sid Vicious has white socks and darker shorter boots, and he doesn't have a belt on his shorts. Raven now has a tear on his shorts on the right leg, and his legs model has been slightly reshaped, so I think it looks a bit better now. For Stone Cold I fixed a texture glitch on his right leg, and I added a baseball cap to his backstage attire in the season mode. I also added a backstage attire for The Rock that's based on his early '99 look. And the last but not least, I'm sure many of you will be happy to know that in 1.2 I fully restored music to the patch. This includes background music that plays during matches, background music in the season mode, and entrance themes that play when wrestlers win matches or enter Royal Rumble or Slobberknocker. Of course, I also added new themes for new wrestlers, such as Bret Hart, Raven and others. Now, keep in mind that entrances are still disabled for now, but who knows, I might restore them in the future too. No promises, but we'll see. Well, that's pretty much it in terms of major changes in 1.2. There are some minor ones as well, such as moveset tweaks and the like, but you can find them in the full changelog for this version, if you're interested. As always, the link is in the description. If you like the work I've done for Inspired Patch 1.2, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and consider supporting the project at patreon.com/inspiredwrestling. Also, be sure to stay tuned for more news on Inspired Patch, as I've already started working on 1.3, and it will include some very cool stuff that has never been done in SmackDown 2 modding before. You're absolutely gonna love it. Thank you all for watching, I'll see you around.